Hi everyone, and welcome to the Drunkard's Path. I'm Shelley, and today I'm going to show you a bunch of stuff that I've been working on, some stuff that's happening in the shop, and upcoming shows, and a bunch of different things. So to get started, I just wanted to let everybody know we're on the downside of our 20% off sale. It's our 3rd anniversary sale, so we usually do a pretty big sale for a couple of weeks. So I think it goes to the 25th. Yeah, Angela's shaking his head. Yeah. So April 25th is the last day to get 20% off. So get online, have a look and see, and get that fabric bought up before those prices go back up again. We have a show coming up for the Sarnia Quilters Guild, and it's going to be at the Point Edward Arena on May 29th and 30th. And it is called Once Upon a Quilt. So I'm going to get that in nice and tight so you can see all the particulars of that show. And we will be vendors there, and I will have 3 quilts that I've entered. So that's kind of exciting. It's going to be lots and lots to see. Mini quilts, just a bunch of different size of quilts, style of quilts, and there's going to be several vendors. And do stop by our booth if you're around and come and say hi. We'd love to meet you. So again, that's at the end of May, so we have a lot of work to do between now and then. Each video, we always like to say thank you to the people that are watching by giving out a $25 gift card if they had put a comment in the last video. So this week's winner is Amanda JK123. Amanda, you get the $25 gift card, so please get a hold of us at support@drunkardspath.com, and we will get that code out to you so you can use it in our store. Now, that's just a smaller prize, but every quarter we do the $100 gift card, and that's for anybody who makes a purchase from our shop. And that this quarter is from April the 1st until June the 30th. And we just had our winner, which was Laverne Phils, and she was very excited and very happy, very grateful that she won, and she already did her shopping and stopped by, and it was just so nice to see a really happy face. So just our way of saying thank you, and yeah, shop away and your name goes into that draw automatically. Anyway, to this video, please like, subscribe, tell a friend too, please, so we can get these videos out to as many people as possible. If you could just answer this question for us, leave a comment, and the question of the day is, what are some of your favorite quilt shows you've been to? So it could be anywhere, like doesn't have to be local, like from this area, but wherever you're from, let us know what great quilt show you've been to, what you like there, just a little something. Fill up those comments. That's great. We love reading them. So that's for the $25 gift card for next video. Stick around for the latter half of this video. I'm going to show you a little, it's not really a tutorial, it's more of a segment on irons. So if you're interested in seeing ironing techniques as well as the different irons and different styles of irons, then you can have a look and see what I've got to show you. Oh, new to the shop. Didn't really have anything come in, but what we did was there is, each month I always tell you about, Primrose Cottage puts out this great free pattern. It's free for the whole month if you sign up to their newsletter. So we will link that below, their webpage. Sign up to the quilting newsletter and you will get this free pattern. And it's really, really worth getting because they're just the cutest patterns and they don't take long. So what we did, I made mine, and this is what it looks like. And we put this out on social media, so I'm going to show it right like this. So mine is a nice wall hanging. You see all the pretty little colors, and then there's a heart right on the 3rd row there. We have kitted this up, and we have enough for 3 kits. So get yours quick before they're all gone. And instead of, this is a charm pack that I used, that I had laying around. But the charm pack that we chose for the kit is this one that's called Funny Valentine. It's got all kind of the really similar colors as what I have here. So it will go quite well. And in the kit, you'll get that color, the honey color for the spools. You get the same background and the binding. So It's a real quick stitch, very easy, and I really had fun putting this one together. I think it was last weekend, so it went together quite fast. Also, I just want to say we have enough. We have one more kit for last month's. It's called Honey Blossom. So we have one more of these kitted up, and this is what that one looks like. Looks just like that. These are the fabrics that will be in the kit. So there's one sitting in the wings, waiting to be scooped up. Well, I've been working on a few things. I like watching a bunch of different videos on YouTube, and the Fat Quarter Shop, they usually put out some pretty good sewing tips and free patterns and all kinds of things like that. And I was watching Kimberly make the, it's called Layer Cake Pocket Squares, and it looks like this. This is a free pattern on their site. We can link it below. Check this one out. Now, it's using a layer cake and some background fabric, and it's not hard, but it turns out so nice. Now, I made a table topper. I didn't go for the full quilt. It's just easier for me just to make the smaller items so you can see what they look like. And this is what I made. So this sits on one of my tables upstairs, and it's really cute, and it's, like I said, very easy. And just follow the step-by-step instructions, and you'll have this done in an afternoon. Or you can go for the whole quilt. It's up to you. And I usually change out. I have a little spot upstairs in my front hall, and I like to make these. They're just little kits. This one's a spring-looking one, and there's one for each month of the year. So I think I made most of them. I think I only have one left or something. So I just thought I'd show it just for inspiration for the spring. With our quilt show, our upcoming quilt show, they asked that the women from the guild make a placemat, and they're all different ones. I think they're judged. I'm not 100% sure. And these ones go to Meals on Wheels, so if you donate yours, and I made mine using this paper here. It's a Lori Holt paper. It's a rose. And this one is really good. I love paper piecing, and I actually bought this one out of the shop. So if you're interested, I can get more of these. I think I got the last one. But this is my placemat that I'm going to put into the show, and somebody will end up getting this at the end. I decided I needed some new placemats on my table. Now, I've got 3 out of 4 done because I just finished this just before noon today. So, and they're just simple. I just found some, I think 6 fat quarters. And what I did was I just cut up 5 by 12 inch rectangles. And I just kind of put the fat quarter bundle, like the 4 of them together. And I just cut them all at the same time. And then I just took those. And for each one, I just sewed them together and then put the binding on it. And these are the different ones that I did, because I used 2 different fat quarters for the binding. So we have the red one, and we have like the tan colored one. So that's 2. And number 3, which is pretty much identical to the second one, but I have the other one still have to make. So just something to perk up my kitchen table. I just think it's such a nice, elegant red, nice deep color with the contrasting lighter colors, more like a honey type color. I think that bird is upside down. Let's turn it around. So that's what those ones look like. And like I said, I have one more to go, and I'll have my table looking real pretty for the spring. So I have been working on my 2 quilts that I've been showing you. So I've made a couple more blocks. So for the friendship quilt, and this is using Tilda fabric. Both of these quilts are using Tilda fabric. So we have that one. And then I had found a couple that I made previous. Now this one's a little different. No, I guess this is the same. So there's this one here too. I'm not sure if I had shown this, but I know I made 2. I'm not sure if I grabbed the same one as I showed last week, but I did. There were 2 of them. So regardless, that's what they look like. So, and then they'll just, and they'll just, you'll see that chain go all the way down when they're all put together. That friendship one, which I started that one a couple of years ago, so I just got back to it a month or so ago. So I do want to get that one out of the way. What do they call that when you have something that's been sitting around unfinished? unfinished object, a UFO. Yeah, that's one of my UFOs. So, and I've also been working on the Tilda, and it's called Sunday Brunch. So that's what that one looks like. And my version, well, I was going to say, I got this pattern. It's a free pattern on the Tilda website. There are all kinds of free patterns, free, like pillows, quilts, bags, all kinds of stuff. And they're all free, and they're just absolutely gorgeous patterns. So we can link that as well. So you can go and have a look and maybe use up your stash or see what we have here at the shop and see if you can't make something equally as nice. So there are 4 different dress patterns. I think I showed this one last time, but I did 3 more. So we'll show you all 4. So there's that dress. Now this might take you back a bit. You know, maybe you remember your mother or your grandmother wearing these kinds of dresses. And they're just so cute. There's that one, the pink one, and go to, this has got like a beach theme, like corals and shells, and so that's that one. That's, wait a minute, you know what, I just noticed a mistake. I just noticed as I'm showing you now, which that's a good thing because you can, it's funny how you can see something and like, oh, there it is. So I'm going to take that out. This should be flipped. That is a sash. So that should be right there. Wow, I'm so glad I caught that. I hate to make the whole quilt. It's much easier to undo a block than it is to once you get the quilt put together. So I'll have that corrected for next time. This is the 4th one. So the top part is not too hard, but it's just getting that, I'm going to say, it's not half square rectangle. That's a bit of a challenge, but I talked about that on the last video, but I'm getting it down pat now, so I think I'm doing much better. So that's the 4th one, so I will correct that. Number 3, now the cross stitch section. I couldn't say it, sorry. I do that a few times. Anyway, I'm gonna propose something, and hopefully we'll get a few people out there that's interested in this. Now last year I went to a cross stitch retreat, and Jeanette Douglas was the guest speaker, and she had the most beautiful patterns, and I had never really seen her designs before, but she had all of her patterns there, and I grabbed up a few. Now I thought, wow, wouldn't it be fun to do a stitch along with Jeanette Douglas pattern. Now Jeanette, she's a Canadian, and we like to support Canadian as much as possible. So I bought this one. It's called Trim the Tree. Now, Angel's got a hold of Jeanette Douglas, her people, to see if we can purchase these wholesale to sell in our shop. And they got back to us and they said, absolutely. And they sent a catalog so we can choose which ones that we want. But so if you wanted to get in on this stitch along, I thought we could start in July. Like Christmas in July, because it's called Trim the Tree, and it has like 4 old-fashioned ornaments, and it's got Trim the Tree, and then it's got a border around it. Now, if you started in July and you did, like we all did, 1 ornament per month, it's kind of like homework of doing it. I mean, you've got loads of time to do that. 1 ornament. So July, August, September, October, and November, you could do the border and the words, and you will have a fully finished piece to put up in your home in any way that you want, like either in a frame, as a pillow, wall hanging, whatever you want. But I thought it would be a lot of fun. And what I did was I got this is a floss pack that I got from Roxy Floss, which comes from Evertote, which is in London. So if you go on their website, I'm not sure if they still have these floss packs available, but they're just really, really beautiful hand-dyed floss. And it's great to get the pack because everything that's listed in this pattern is right here. And all you need is a piece of fabric and this, oh shoot, I didn't put the fabric in here. But I will probably do mine on 36 count linen. The color of linen, I'm not quite sure, but probably something similar to what you can see here, the lighter, that they kind of give you a good idea of on how to, what color linen to do your work on. So if you are interested in this, please either say it in the comment below or let me know at support@drunkerspath.com so I can know how many patterns to order. I would love to see a bunch of people just to start one. And you'll see how much fun it is, and we can kind of do it together. I can start mine on in July, but as a video, so you can see exactly how to get started. And we'll just go month by month, and maybe we can post on social media, and just to encourage everybody along. And it's just such a lovely piece for the holidays. I just found this downstairs. Halloween is coming up. It's in 6 more months. I'm so excited, but it's not too early to start your Halloween stitching because it does take a while to get these pieces done. So this one here is Primrose Cottage, and it was just so cute. And I know it took me a little bit to stitch this one, I think over a month. But anyway, I just saw it down here and I thought, oh, I'm just going to quickly show you that. And okay, these 2 cross stitch pieces that I'm going to show you, I've been working on them not the only ones that I've been working on, but I've worked on the majority of my time were on these other 2. And it's one that I showed you that I started before was the Snow White. I wanted to get this done because it's going to go into my granddaughter's room. She's already moved over to her new bedroom. I don't have it quite done yet, but there's a ton of stitching on it. So this is my progress now, because I think I only had about that much done before, but I've got all of the tree, some of these little snowflakes, all to the bottom of her dress. This will go over, and then there's a little deer. So yeah, and I got the bird. So the dress is a lot of fill-in, but and there's a little bit of back stitching in it, and it's actually turning out really, really nice. I love the look of it now that I'm well into it. So yeah, that's what gets me motivated. Oh, I've only got that much more, and then the deer. And the black part, and then it'll be done. So I'll put that into a frame, and it'll go into her room. And the other one, Elizabeth Stevenson, 1854, the 2025 Queen of the May. And I saw the 2026 Queen of the May just came out. I will not be doing that one because after doing this one is big, very big, and I love doing it. And I'm making a lot of really good progress on it. I'm gonna just, so you can see, I am at the bottom. I am on page 10 and almost finished page 10. So this is my progress here. So sorry about the threads hanging down, but that will continue over. There's a lot of fill-in right here. So this right here is page 10. So I had to go down with the border, put Elizabeth Stevenson's name in it. We've got like, I don't know, it's an elk or a deer or some kind of creature here. This flower pot, another big flower, so that was from here down. We've got a bird, and then there's one little, I think some sort of flowery thing right here, and that's page 10 will be done. So just 11 and 12 to go, and this big one will be done, and I'm just so happy because it's turning out just beautiful. So like I said, 1 stitch at a time, and you'll get there. Like these types are like heirloom pieces, and it's just so, you get a lot of self-satisfaction when you look back and say, wow, you know, just, it's just a lot of fun to do. Okay, and the last thing I want to show you, now this is more of the, it's embroidery actually, and I showed you my start on this one. It looks like this. So it's got this piece in the middle that you embroider, and then you put your flying geese around the outside. So that's the border. Now I'm using, instead of the black on there, I'm using the Roxy Floss. And what is this one called? Falu Red. So it's a really nice deep red, and I just love this. And this, so I ironed it onto the fabric, the piece. Now it's actually starting to fade a bit, so I better get a move on so I can still see it. But I have all this section done. And the one at the bottom is not too bad. It's not as much little fiddly stuff like over here. But I want to get into doing the sewing machine, but I want to start up here next and then work my way down. And it goes fast when you're working on it, but you know, you've only got so many hours in the day. So I really enjoy doing this, and I think it's going to look really sharp because the fabric I'm going to use for the outside for the flying geese is black and has red in it as well. So it's really going to tie it together. And here's a segment on ironing. Today we're going to talk about irons and ironing / pressing. and we're going to go through various irons and ironing techniques. Now, I wish I had learned this years ago when I first started quilting, because it sure made a huge difference when I saw the different techniques on how to make your pieces nice and flat. So I have several irons. I have pretty much all the different kinds of irons. So let's just go through each one and what I use them for. This is the first one is your typical iron. It's quite heavy, and the brand is Reliable, and it's got a ceramic plate on it, and it gets quite hot, and you can fill it up, and you can use steam, so you can do like steam or not steam. And I would use this iron like at the for bigger pieces, and I always iron my binding. When I first put the binding on a quilt on the top part, I will iron that so I can wrap it around to the back better. So I would use the bigger iron for that, because again, this one's nice and heavy. So that is the first one. And then I tried my hand at this is the cordless. Now it plugs in, but this piece comes right off. And this is the Panasonic, and there's several different colors or models or whatever, but the downside to this one is that it does cool down as you use it, so you have to put it back on its base to charge it back up. But it is really handy because you do not have that cord in your way. So I like this one too. I just like to change them up. And again, like, have the choices. So there's that. Number 2, the third iron. This is the big steam station, and this is the Rowenta one. And I use this one quite often when I'm piecing, because you have this big, huge reservoir tank, and it has lots of steam. So this one comes off, and then it's got the bigger cord on it, and it does a really good job, except for after I used it for a while, this handle started to get a little bit hot. But typically when it's not supposed to do that. But this is actually a really good iron. And I just loved using this one because of the steam, and I could get my pieces nice and flat. So I did like using this one quite a bit. So there's that one. There are different steam stations you can get. You can just have to look them up, but they are a little pricier. Now, I really, really like these small ones. This is the Oliso, and it's just small, and they're very hot. And this one does have a small tank in it, so you've got your steam. This one has a little light on it as well. I just got this one because I don't know. I just treated myself, and I thought I have a pink one as well, but I wanted this one. The model was a little bit different. The design of it, the handle. So this one gets very, very hot, and that's what you need when you're piecing. So I'm going to put this one next to my sewing machine. I have a little table to the side. So as I'm piecing, I can just turn to the side, use this type of ironing board right next to it, and I can just do my pieces like that. So those are the 4 types of irons that I have. So let's get into the technique. I just want to show you the difference of a block that I made a couple years ago. Now this one's to the friendship quilt that I've been showing you all along, that I've been piecing together. But this is a block that I had made originally a couple years ago when I didn't use these techniques I'm going to show you. And you can see, now when I pulled it out, I actually did some fixing up on this to try and make it look as flat as I can. But there's some ripples. It's not from the sewing, it's from the ironing. So I'm going to show you on the back. Everything is ironed to the side, and even that I caught that underneath the presser foot. So you can just see the various, not mistakes, but this is just how I did it a few years ago, and this was the result of it. So like I said, I did my best to make it look a little flatter, but it was pretty much a mess when I first pulled that one out. Now, when I make a block, you can see how flat everything is, nice and flat. And I like to stitch, or I like to press open where I can. You can say pressed open here, even on the little 9 patches. And I always sew when I'm piecing with a 1.6 stitch length, and that helps too when you're ironing, because if you're sewing open, you don't want any gaps whatsoever. So you want a nice tight stitch length. So that's what the back of that one looks like. And you can see how nice and flat everything is. Nice and flat. And I like to stitch with a 1.6 stitch length, and that helps too when you're ironing, because if you're sewing open, you don't want any gaps whatsoever. So you want a nice tight stitch length. So that's what the back of that one looks like. And you can see how nice and flat is on that block. Now, I don't know if you could really see, but in person I can definitely see the difference between the two blocks. So we're going to show you a few samples. Now I also use the clappers. Once I do my ironing, I put the clapper on top, and that absorbs the heat and makes things nice and flat. So we actually carry this clapper right here in the shop. So have a look online, and I'll show you how I use the clappers and how I press. And when I do, sometimes I use the Mary Ellen's Best Press to help with keeping things nice and flat as well. I typically starch my fabric before I start, but sometimes when you're ironing, you just give it a little spritz. Maybe there's a crease in the fabric. You spray that on there, and then you put your iron on, and it's completely gone. So we're gonna move our iron, a nice hot iron, and I have to reach a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm gonna put that aside. So first one I'm going to show you, which I hope I don't burn myself, I just sewed 2 pieces together. So what I'm going to do, so when I got to go press that, and lay it open, and I'm just going to open it with my finger and get it started. We're going to put the tip of our iron right on the edge and just go along nice and slowly. We're not ironing like we're ironing a shirt, like rocking back and forth, because we do not want to distort the fabric. Do you see how nice that is laying? Nice and flat. And then I'll just take a clapper, put that on top, and wait like a minute or so as it's taking up all the heat, and it will lay nice and flat. So I'm just going to take that one off, and you can see. So in the front, see how flat that is? You might want to just go over top of the front like that. And most people set their seam too. I didn't show you that, but I'm going to show you on the next piece. This time we're going to set the seam, because I actually forgot the last one. Okay, set the seam. And see on these pieces that I sewed together, I pressed open on all of these. But because we've got the seams right here, I'm not going to press that open, because it's just a lot of bulk, and there's more chance of it not looking so well. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to fold it over, okay? Just fold it over. Don't stretch it or pull it or anything like that. Just fold it over. Put your iron on right there on the seam, and just slowly press it. Hold it. We don't want any distortion, okay? Just like that. And maybe, like I said, you want to just give it a little spritz. So it holds that. I usually count to like 5. And there we go. See how nice that is? Nice, beautiful press. So it lays nice and flat. So then when we get to our things like half square triangles, I'll do a couple just to show you, okay? This is what I do. So we have our half square triangle. So we're going to just fold it over, because this is sewn on the bias. All right, this will stretch. So we just want to press with our fingers, hold our iron in place, hold it a few seconds, come up. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut off the little dog ears. Do it over here. Okay, that's gone. So now it's over to one side, but again, I like to press open wherever I can. Okay, so we're just going to press that with our finger. Don't iron our finger. Press it down. Do it to like a count of 5. Grab our clapper and put it on. Okay, I'll show you that one more time. You might say, oh, that takes up a lot of time. Well, you know what takes a lot of time is ripping something out because it's not on there straight, and you might have to like re-sew it again. So I would rather take my time this way, have a nice flat, you know, just a nice flat piece like that. So let's do that one more time. So we're just gonna grab it, like fold it with our fingers, just lightly press, put our iron on there. Now if you want to give it a shot of steam, that's fine too. And then up we go. And I just, like again, cut off our little dog ears. And let's flip that back over. And we're just gonna iron that open. Just go slowly, hold it so it stays nice and flat. And a lot of times the fabric will tell you which way it wants to go. So just kind of go with that, unless it specifically says on your pattern which way to iron it, just so you can nest things better. But this is what I do. Take that off. And there we have, here, I'm going to just show you the different ones. But I do love this little iron. It's worth its weight in gold, I tell you. Shift that over. And I'll just show you the different little bits off of here. Okay. So there's the flat with the sewn pieces together with all these seams come together. We fold it over. We got our half square triangles that we opened our seams and folded them flat. And the same with the two pieces together. And look how beautiful that is. So when you go to sew these things together, they're just nice and flat, and you'll have less likely chance of things not lining up or looking nice when it's all done. So there we go. There's our irons and ironing technique. Okay, well, thank you so much for sticking around and supporting our shop. We greatly appreciate it. So until next time, keep sewing, keep stitching.